Well, it's been a while since I did a review. Well, mainly because I had to play Yakuza 3 twice. I didn't realise using headphones and the PlayStation 4 controller wouldn't capture the audio in OBS. Pretty stupid. But I finally managed to finish the story of all the Yakuza game in the Yakuza Remastered collection. I never played Yakuza 3 and 5, as the 4th one was my introduction to this wacky and dramatic series, and I remember that when I got Yakuza 4 for the first time, I didn't like it as the road was blocked by restrictions on a couple of early missions, and I couldn't free roam and the dialogue was Japanese. I wasn't used to Japanese being voice acted because I'm used to the game where characters speak English. I didn't know what to do, so I dropped the game and picked it up a year later, training my brain with a ton of anime and giving it a try, and I fell in love with the series instantly for its dramatic story and memorable characters. And Yakuza 5 was released as digital for some odd reason, so I didn't play it and forgot about it since I like physical boxes and stuff. And the Yakuza Remastered collection came with the Yakuza 5 box art, but it's too late.
15 years too late.
And now you pretty much have all the Yakuza series on one console, from Yakuza 1 and 2 remake to 6 and 0. Unfortunately, the spin-off are kept in the dark as always. I really want to play the Yakuza Samurai one, and the only thing we got was Dead Souls, that for the first time you get to play as Ryuji, the antagonist from Yakuza 2 and Majima, Kiryu's rival. Now to talk about the remastered collection, it has Yakuza 3 with added content that was previously removed, like Mahjong, shogi, massage parlor, cabaret minigames. In the remastered version, they also removed one sub-story that was controversial to today's standard. Basically, it's a guy dressed as a woman chasing Kiryu trying to win his affection, and Kiryu calls the said person it. I don't know why they decided to cut it out since the game story is based in 2009 and not in 2020 with restrictive narrative and political correctness. Like, if Hangar 13 can make Mafia 3 a game where you play a black guy in his 60s getting called all type of racial slurs.
Well, what you gonna do, nigger? This.
You can't put in at least one sub-story that isn't important to the game story. And in the story of Yakuza 3, there's racism. Yeah, I know they're kids and all, but change of perspective and it will definitely get reworked on. And it's stupid way to censor and cut out that one but add all the rest of the previous cut content back in, where women are sexualized in a weird Japanese kind of way. To me, it's a bit hypocritical. Anyways, enough of that ramble and let's talk about the elephant in the room. Tanimura. Sure, he had a facelift, he looked different compared to the original PlayStation 3 version. What happened there? Well, story goes is that the voice actor Hiroki Narimiya, I think that's how you say it. By the way, they also use his facial likeness in the game for cutscenes. He was accused for cocaine use and retired and disappeared from public eye, and since that, Sega redid every single cutscene and lines from the original, completely removing his likeness to avoid any relation to his sudden retirement. Thus also the Yakuza game takes inspiration from notorious gang members with dark history and crimes they committed, like murder, extortion, and even child pornography at one point. You can look it all up yourself, but be wary of the last part. But good news is that everything else is left untouched. Well, they also changed the cabaret girls because they used famous porn actresses and their contract expired, I guess, and replaced them. Yakuza 5 as well. Yakuza 5. Now I won't go too in depth of the combat since it's really simple, but different. Everyone has their own gimmick. Like example, Akiyama has good long combos, speed and multiple finishes that is satisfying to pull off. Sajima is a big brute with his health, charge attack and stupendous strength, and the only person to pick up a scooter with ease and throw a tantrum. Tanimura can parry moves when he blocks. You'll know when his body starts to glow. Since he's a cop, you see unique takedowns like subduing them by breaking their arms and handcuffing them when their back is on the ground. Health doesn't matter. Kiryu is basic in all of them until he completely maxes stats to become a god of fighting. Sanada is good with weapons, but unfortunately his combo is short with no finishes other than Yakuza 5 unique attack and finishes. Basically he can grapple other mobsters and use them to ram others out of the way. Akiyama just drove does air combo like Mortal Kombat. Kiryu just sends a barrage of attacks and finishes with a combo. I don't know the others since I haven't had a chance to try them out. And Sajima pounds the ground sending a shockwave making enemies fall on the backside. Oh crap, I just remembered that Shinada can pick up his opponent's legs and drag them across like a cartwheel, while their delicate faces are constantly being grinded on the floor. You can use heat attacks and use them in different scenarios that are oh my god, how did you not die kinda deal. It's really fun and comical to look at. The upgrade mechanic is similar for Yakuza 4 and 5, with 3 having a bar and the others having 3 tokens every time you level up. I didn't delve too much into the sub-story since it is important and can sometimes take you off the immersive story and can get very weird Japanesey, if that's the word for it. The minigames are the same with all the western and eastern gambling games like mahjong, CeeLo, shogi and more, poker, blackjack and more, fishing, managing a cabaret, underground fights, golf and plenty more, and my favourite is a karaoke bar in where you hear many Yakuza sing their heart out, or loan sharks, and Sega Arcade Club that features their own licensed product like Virtual Fighter and Taiko no Tatsujin, a rhythm game, and more spanning across each installment of the series. However, if you want to complete everything in the game back to back, it's gonna become stale. And that is unfortunate with Yakuza. Every minigame is similar. However, that isn't the case for Yakuza 5 as every protagonist has their own gimmick minigames. Like Kiryu Taxi Drive that is too realistic. I like it, it's slow of course. You have to please the customer and use indicators to turn, looking at traffic lights, letting pedestrians pass through and don't slam the brakes or the accelerator too hard. On the other side, you can race other cars with over the top circuit races. Saejima can hunt wildlife and upgrade his outfit and hunting weapons and tools. Haruka has a dance minigame that you can challenge street dancers and perform at a concert, but that's for the story. I don't know what Akiyama gimmick is. And finally Sanada with his gimmick of baseball. I don't like the change to the minigame, it's much harder to understand, and when you hit the ball and again, you upgrade your strike buttons. Now for my critique of Yakuza Remastered collection for Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3 has no awesome intro when introducing and shows status of important Yakuza and non-Yakuza folks, but to my surprise you see it in chapter 5 and onward, but it isn't the first time you meet him and it loses its cool factor compared to Yakuza 4. It's like they forgot or something. You find out when you progress further to the story that Kazuma, Kiryu's adopted father, is alive, but plot twist is Kazuma a twin brother. Really?
Beautiful eyes. Eh? Like I heard from my brother before.
They look identical to each other, like they have the same facial character models. I mean, I'm surprised he's not even my own brother. Chapter 3 and the first half of chapter 4 is super slow, like my god it was dragging. I wanted to go to sleep. It focuses more on the orphanage, which I don't mind, but these kids become irrelevant and focus more on Haruka, so why would I want to know each of the personality? My favourite orphan if after Pig is a black kid, I forgot his name, and the little girl that's obsessed with the dog Mame, she's just too adorable. I was gonna make a joke but Minato is too disgusting for my taste. You get to explore new towns like Okinawa, nice change of scenery. Also for me, it's weird how Kiryu is hysterical over Rikyu's death.
Rikia. Oi! Rikia! Oi! お前何勝手に死んでんだよ、おい！俺許さねえぞ！おい！リキア！一応しろ、リキア！リキア！
And not countless others like his best friend and his love interest in the first game. What I'm trying to say is that in this game, there's a lot of others that Kiryu and you yourself spend time with and get to know them throughout multiple games and are invested in. Who am I talking about? Kashiwagi. Yeah, he dies in Yakuza 3. Pretty brutal scene, and all he gets is, don't worry, I'll find the mysterious person that looks like Kazuma, but really isn't. I found it a tad bit odd. Okay, bye now, see you later. Common folks as well as thug are intermixed, which is weird. I don't know who to fight, and it's funny seeing a Yakuza or a gang member holding a man purse. The endings of all Yakuza games are really the best, and it pays off. One thing I will say is that I always had a trope that the enemies always has a gun on them and kills whoever important to you. I wish they would have been more vigilant. Yakuza 3 graphics, mainly the cutscenes, felt unnatural in 1080p. Also, Yakuza has a weird side story involving incest. That's the plot twist at the end. Not gonna lie though, it did make me laugh a little bit. And this was another cut content brought back in from Yakuza 3. Fantastic.
お兄ちゃん？
私と秋元くんは生き別れの兄弟だったのよ。
なんだって？
秋元くんのことは大好きだけど、でもやっぱり兄弟で結婚はできないわ。
そんな。水木ちゃんが僕の妹だったなんて。じゃあ僕たちは一生籍を入れられないのか。 待てよ。もともと僕たちは家族だったということは、もう席に入ってるってことだ。ヤッホー、やったやったぞ。
Why put Rage Command on R2 button? It doesn't feel right on the PlayStation 4 controller. Yakuza 4. This game has no fault. It's the best Yakuza in the trilogy of games, with better storyline and introducing one of my favourite characters, Akiyama. Some Yakuza fan might say the favourite character is Majima, but Yakuza 4 was my first entry and all you see is Akiyama when you play the game. Well, the first chapter at least. You get to know a bit about his personality and quirks. Like I said earlier, it took me a year just to give it another chance, and I'm glad I did. For a long time this was my favourite till Yakuza 0 came out, but Yakuza 4 is a strong second. I will do a review way later on of the game and go too in depth with it, with the style of how I do it, which is recap the story, gameplay, history, and my own history to said game. And me trying to complete all 3 Yakuza games back to back 100% is gonna make my freaking head explode. I've already got the plan for Yakuza 4 doing all the difficult side missions and minigames, and I almost got it for Yakuza 0 but got sidetracked. Yakuza 5. I don't like how characters aren't shown or mentioned like Arai and Kido from Yakuza 4. Where are they? Are they in jail? I don't know. And where's Tanimura? At least the beginning of Yakuza 3 shows closure to Yakuza 2 with Ryuji's sister, which I didn't realize at first. Another thing that I didn't like, that in all Yakuza games, when you start the game, they pretty much say that whatever you hear was based on that time period and that they aren't responsible or condone any of the actions. I mean, obviously I know that. All they're doing is just telling a story, and I guess that is just too much for some people, but it is what it is. By far this is the longest game out of them all, mainly because non-cutscene dialogues are shown in an RPG-esque type of way where you have to read it, but here they actually did voice acting for it. But the downfall is I was dragging with typical Japanese storytelling. Instead of giving you the straight answer, it beats around the bush. The game is huge, giving you 5 areas to explore. Kamurocho and Sotenbori. These 2 you already explored, but the 3 new ones are Nagasukai, Tsukimino, and the final one, Kinecho. Not only are there new settings, but new characters to play as, such as Sanada, a retired pro baseball player, accused of cheating, and Haruka, trying to achieve her dream of becoming an idol. It's funny that I dug till Yakuza 0 to play as Majima, not counting Yakuza Dead Souls. I will say the ending is a solid one. If you're emotional, it will make you cry. And yeah, now you don't have an excuse to play any Yakuza games since all of the main titles on PlayStation 4. I'm ranking my least favourite to favourite since there's 7 of the main titles from Yakuza 0 to 6. Now my least favourite is Yakuza 3. It had a weak story and it was dragging on forever. Yakuza 5 story was okay. I like Haruka's story with her mentor Park. Why did she have to die? Ugh. Great ending and boss fight, but again it dragged on with the voice acting dialogue rather than reading it yourself. Yakuza 6 had a good story and a nice conclusion to the Kiryu saga, but I wish he died at the end. But hey, what can you do? At least we get to see him in Yakuza 7. Let's see how that goes. Yakuza Kiwami, or pretty much Yakuza 1, he had a good story as well, but the characters aren't fleshed out. I like the dynamic between Kiryu and Ishikiyama, and the downfall that Kiryu goes through. Yakuza Kiwami 2 or Yakuza 2, I pretty much have to describe it in 2 words only: Ryuji Goda. He is literally one of my favourite villains in the game. I like his morals. He isn't evil for the sake of being evil like his lieutenants, and I really didn't want him to die. And that's how good the story is. You don't want the main villain to die. This is going to be quite surprising, but Yakuza 4 is going to be my second. Mainly because of course Akiyama being my #1 favourite Yakuza character in the game, even though he's not a Yakuza himself. Second is Ryuji and third is probably Majima. This is my first entry to the series, and this game is the first time they introduced multiple stories with multiple characters for you to play as, so that was good. Everyone's story and plot was intertwined with each other so it wouldn't get stale and boring. And with that said, my #1 favourite has to be Yakuza 0. Literally this game has everything: good drama, plot, emotions, and the best boss fight throughout the entire series, with excellent cinematography, and even fleshed out the characters from Yakuza 1, getting you hooked and attached to them until they eventually die. And the sad depressing story of Majima's relationship with Makoto, with her dark past and her basically trying to reunite with her brother. She was so close as well. Why did you have to taunt him though? Well, I've been AnimersiveXP. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like and share, and you'll see me in the next video. Bye bye.
Beautiful eyes. Like I heard from my brother before.
What the fuck?